So before we started working together, I'd just like to say I wasn't fat per se, but I'd gained quite a lot of body fat on my back, my thighs and my stomach. Felt tired all the time and was generally unhealthy, as well as my thyroid levels were completely out of whack, and I was suffering with thyroid fogs, which anyone who tells you who has a thyroid is not very nice. So this caused lots of visits to doctors and blood tests, and so just generally unhealthy. So this caused me basically, as I said, tired, but also angry, quite negative. Anytime anyone asked me how I was doing, I was just like, I'm so tired, and wasn't really positive about a lot of things, and couldn't really laugh a lot of things off. And so with everything else, getting dressed was a complete nightmare. The meltdowns with the getting dressed became part of how I got ready. I would book 2 hours to get ready, if that was going anywhere, to the shops, to dinner, because I know as soon as my hair and makeup was done, I'd have complete meltdown over the clothes. Then I'd lash out to the nearest person, which was Neil, my partner, and then I'd just relatively spoil the day or the night or anything we had planned. So this kind of started a slippery slope to cancelling plans, not going out, because I wanted to avoid the meltdowns, and so that's what was happening. So about February, I was like, no more, I'm going to get a static bike. I'm going to put all the clothes that don't fit me into boxes and colour code them to when they should fit in, and and was like pretty like, yes, I'm determined. So around Easter time, I had another meltdown. Nothing was fitting. I was like, what am I doing so wrong? I'm on the bike, I'm eating healthy, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. Why am I still putting on weight? So after a few choice words between me and Neil, he obviously said he was following you on Facebook and why don't I give you a call or a message and just see if you can help. And that's basically when I messaged you on Facebook, and the next day we booked an appointment, and 45 minutes later we'd gone through everything, like my thyroid, how I was feeling, what I was doing, and things like that. So I knew I didn't really have that much of a choice. I needed to do something. So I decided to sign up with you. And I think this time it was different because we were going through COVID. Neil had been furloughed. We were taking money out of the house. So ultimately it was up to me to make this work. Couldn't waste the money, or couldn't fail, and so that's what we did. So how this program did get me to where I wanted was more about like education, because I'd said I don't eat too much, and don't most people. Maybe it's not the eating, but the snacking, and I was basically snacking on, without realising until I started logging food, I was snacking on everything: cakes, chocolate, crisps, copious amounts of wine. So, and I remember the first Saturday after I started the program and I didn't log anything. And you called me out on it. You were like, I guess you went crazy at the weekend, and it didn't matter how crazy I'd gone, I still had to log it for eating habits, triggers. So things like that. So I was like, right, it's time to, you know what, it doesn't matter what I eat, I'm going to log it. And education's the biggest thing. I mean, we discussed the toffee yum yum situation where it's like 507 calories. So started logging everything, and even bought digital scale, did everything and started weighing my food. And at first you're kind of like, oh, this feels like a chore, but you kind of get used to it, and your eye starts to measure things, or you tend to buy things in the same weights, knowing that it's easy logging, or so things like that. So after I did that for a few weeks, my stomach went quite a bit flatter, and I'd started losing centimeters, feeling, you know, quite good about it. Didn't feel as tired and things like that. So, and I think when it comes to these eating habits, you're ultimately responsible. You have someone there to guide you, maybe give you healthy alternatives, because that's your skill. And I think it is ultimately up to you. But you still need that guide there, someone to be like, well, you know, if you need mayonnaise, eat the really light one. So, and I guess that's where, if I had to sum you up in one sentence or compliment you, I think it's the understanding and the non-judgmental, that we don't have the skills, so that's why we hire you. So, and then with regards to the eating, like specifically, it is choosing. Specifically what we need to do is not necessarily a diet, but is choosing what to eat. So I was going to a barbecue, and I knew that I like a couple of glasses of wine, so I wouldn't have the snacks before. I wouldn't have the crisps and the dip, or, you know, the olives or things like that. So, and it actually didn't, because I was making those choices myself with guidance from you, like, you know, saying it's okay to have a glass of wine. It's okay. You're not going to just suddenly balloon. So, and on the other occasions, I think I did it for a reason instead of just for me. I had a wedding or a holiday, and that's what I do. I'd basically live on air to go on holiday or go to a wedding to fit in that dress. And for this time, it was different, because it was just solely for me. And I could contact you anytime if I had a question, or I didn't understand something, or I needed just help, or a chat, or something to say, I'm doing this, is it right? And, you know, it's not always possible with close family and friends, because they love you no matter what you look like. But I guess sometimes you gotta love yourself first. So I think this process, or the program, made me feel like I was in control, and I just had like basically a guide to help me get there. So since the 12 weeks started and finished, I'm still not in my goal, still working towards it. But I have lost 10 kilograms. Last time I measured, it's like 70 centimeters off my entire body. People are complimenting, saying, oh, gosh, you look great, you look healthy. They're not saying skinny or slim, or they're just like, you look healthy, you look happy. So physically, I think that's a big win. Yay! 10 kilos, big win. But mentally for me, I think it was all about the mental aspect. My thyroid fog went after 6 weeks of being on the program, eating healthy, reducing the amount of sugar I was eating. Last blood test, thyroid levels were good. So they're not up my dosage, which is also good. You don't want to be pumping your body full of chemicals. And as well as, like people have said, you just seem more confident. You seem to laugh a lot more things off instead of thinking everything's a dig or people are just mean. It's a lot of things are just like, oh well, them's the breaks kind of thing. So and I think what people don't realise is with thyroid fog, it's really uncontrollable and not nice. Sometimes you don't sleep, sometimes you sleep too much. The crying uncontrollably is not great. So for that to go is massive. So mentally for me, everything just seems better, more positive, strong mind, strong body. Such a cliche, but so true. And yeah, I think nowadays I do enjoy life a lot more, and I do push myself, like doing boot camp with complete strangers and actually being okay with it instead of going, oh, I can't go, I've never done a boot camp. So and I think if I had to look back on the 12 weeks, after the first week I wasn't sure I'd even complete the 12 weeks, but I got stronger each week. I got better knowledge on food each week, and I don't actually have any cravings because I'm allowed even a little of the bad things, that there are no cravings. There's I know I don't have a six-pack, but I'm a lot thinner or slimmer, healthier, better attitude, better understanding of food, better understanding of me with food. I am no longer an emotional eater, which is good because you don't want food to control you. A bad day is not sorted with half a bottle of wine. It is now sorted with a run or a walk. And yeah, I think overall, the program is, just opened a lot more things up to me, As I said in the beginning of this, I had 5 boxes color-coded with what I'm going to fit into. And as I said, some were marked March 2021. So out of those 5 boxes of clothes, I have 1, and that's my end goal. I still have that pesky 2 kilograms to lose, but it's opened up my cupboard. I'm more sociable. I've always been sociable, and I think that was the impact it was having on my life. Was I didn't want to be sociable, whereas now, like I said, I'm doing boot camps, I'm doing road running, not caring if people think, give it up, love. I guess I actually read a self-help book once. I've read more than one, but this one actually was saying to help yourself, sometimes you need to have that coach with the skills to show you the way. And I think that's what this program did, was as much as I helped myself into step to the program, I had a coach with me along the way. So I guess I owe that to you. And so It's been great. Keep going towards my goal. Keep having a look at your Facebook page, and I'd recommend it to anyone who is struggling, not just with your weight, but to feel better, and to understand how food can have a negative impact on you. But when you have an understanding of it, it's always a better thing. So yeah, I've enjoyed the 12 weeks. It went so quickly, and just wanted to say thanks.